let's start easy. So just lay down on your back and let your knees be lifted. So feet on the floor. You can allow your knees to drop together and just rest your palms on the ground next to your hips. You can even close your eyes for a moment. And just take this moment to begin to tune in with your body, to begin to let go of all your busy thoughts. Let's blow away the worries about the work, the family, about Corona, everything. Allow it to drift aside. And let's take a few deep breaths, filling the lungs entirely and exhaling through the mouth. Once more, inhale to fill your lungs fully. And then exhale through your mouth, empty your lungs. And then begin to lengthen your breaths, breathing through your nose, ujjayi breathing, creating that contraction in the back of your throat. Beginning to create the equal length to your inhalations and exhalations. Creating some heat at the same time. And with your next exhalation, gently open your eyes and still keep this position. But now we'll start bringing our attention to our core muscles. So with every exhalation, begin to contract your belly, to pull the navel in, pushing down your lower ribs. And inhaling to allow your belly to soften. And exhaling, drawing the navel in, lower ribs in. And begin to press your lower back towards the floor. It doesn't have to touch the floor, still keeping that normal, natural curve in your back. And then lift your feet up, keeping your knees and shins parallel with the floor, engaging the inner thighs together. Draw your belly in, keep breathing. And then if you want, you can even lift your arms up, pointing the hands towards the ceiling, palms facing together. Even engaging your pelvic floor lightly, draw the belly in, take a deep breath. And next exhalation, begin to tap the toes towards the ground and reaching your opposite arm back. Inhaling to bring to the neutral and exhaling the other side. Keep going slowly at your own pace. Always inhaling, bringing the feet together and arms up, and exhaling to reach back with your arm, opposite toes touching gently to the floor. Slow movements, keeping your core active, belly drawing in. One more round. At your own pace. And then slowly release. Roll up to seated and find your way to your tabletop position. So this is not yet Ashtanga, but we're just awakening our core to start with. So find your tabletop position, hands below your shoulders, knees below your hips. And we're gonna do a bit of cat-cow, but keep your upper back frozen and make the movement just with your core. So inhale to lift your tailbone up, and exhale to draw the navel in, tailbone down. Inhale up, really gentle movement. Exhale, draw the navel in, your tail pointing down, imaginary tail. Inhale up, exhale down. Keep drawing the belly in, lower ribs in. Inhale. And if you like, with your next exhalation, even lift your knees up. And take a few deep breaths here, keeping your knees lifted. Gaze down on the floor in front of you. Deep breaths. You got this. One more breath. And then slowly release. Curl the toes under. Find your way to your downwards facing dog. Lift your hips up. Deep breaths. Claw the fingertips to the mat. Index finger knuckles firmly pressing to the mat. Keeping your neck long. Perhaps gazing to your navel. One more deep breath here. Then next exhalation, bend the knees, gaze in front of you. And step to the top of the mat, feet hips distance apart. And stay for a moment in your forward fold, Uttanasana. Still keeping your knees soft, bringing your balance more to the balls of your feet. You can keep your hands at your shins or even reaching down to your toes, curling your index finger, middle finger and your thumb around your big toes. And like a waterfall, your spine is being drawn towards the ground, all the way from your tailbone to the crown of your head. One more breath here. Then bring your hands to your shins. Next inhalation, gaze halfway up. Exhale down. Inhale to rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Sun salutation A. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, halfway up, chest forward, draw the belly in. Exhale, hands to the mat, step to your high plank or knees down. Then one extra breath here. And next exhalation, draw the elbows towards each other and lower down, Chaturanga, gazing forward. Inhale to your upwards facing dog. Exhale, downwards facing dog. 5 deep breaths in your down dog. Finding your steady down dog. Fingertips clawing to the mat. Shoulders rolling away from your ears. Navel drawing in, tailbone towards the ceiling. Breathe length all the way to your back, to the backs of your legs. 2 more deep breaths. And then next exhalation, bend your knees, gaze in front of you, and step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to rise all the way up. Palms touching or apart, gaze up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Make your movements as long as your breath. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, hands to the mat, step to your high plank. And lower down. Inhale, upwards facing dog. Pressing your hands to the mat, chest up. Exhale, downwards facing dog. 5 deep breaths in your down dog. Breathing your ujjayi breathing through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Next exhalation, bend your knees, gaze in front of you, and step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, gaze up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Find your smile. Once more, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat, step to your high plank. And lower down, chaturanga, pulling the elbows in, gaze forward. Inhale, upwards facing dog. Gaze up. Exhale, downwards facing dog. 5 breaths again. Finding that meditative state, focusing on your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bend the knees, gaze in front of you, and step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Palms together, gaze up, and exhale, hands to your heart. Sun salutation B. You can bring your feet together or keep them hips distance apart. Bend your knees, bring your balance to your heels, brush the floor, and inhale to come to your chair pose. Reaching up as you're sitting down, gazing up. 1 more breath here. Then exhale to straighten the legs, fold forward. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat, step to your high plank and lower down. Inhale, upwards facing dog. Beautiful. Exhale, downwards facing dog. Point your left toe slightly to the side, heel down. Next inhalation, step your right foot between your hands. And inhale to rise all the way up, warrior 1. Pull your feet together, feet towards each other as you're bending to your front knee. Challenge your balance, gazing up. 1 breath, and then next exhalation, bring your hands to the mat. Step to your high plank and lower down. Inhale, upwards facing dog. Push the floor away, gaze up. Exhale, downwards facing dog. Point the right toes slightly to the side, heel down. And next inhalation, step your left foot between your hands. And next inhalation, rise all the way up. Warrior 1. Hips are forward, drawing the belly in. chest up, even gazing up. One more breath. And exhale to return your hands to the mat. Step to your high plank and lower down. Gazing forward. Inhale, upwards facing dog. Exhale, downwards facing dog. Beautiful. 5 breaths here. Finding your steady breath, nourishing breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, release your neck, and 5, bend the knees, gaze in front of you, and step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale to your flat back, exhale, fold forward, bend the knees, and rise up to your chair pose, and all the way up, and next exhalation, hands to your heart. Let's do that just once more. Normally we would do 5 salutations A and 5 B, which I find a lot, but we can do one more. So bend the knees, brush the floor, and rise up to your chair pose. 1 deep breath, sit deeper, and exhale to fold forward. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat, step to your high plank, lower down. Inhale, upwards facing dog. Gaze up. Exhale, downwards facing dog. Left toes to the side. Step your right foot between your hands. Next inhalation, rise up to your warrior 1. Exhaling to your flat, hands to the mat, high plank, and lower down. Inhale to your upwards facing dog. Exhale, downwards facing dog. Right toes pointing to the side. Step your left foot between your hands. Next inhalation, rise all the way up, warrior 1. Exhale, hands to the mat, step to your high plank, lower down. Inhale, upwards facing dog. Exhale, downwards facing dog. 5 deep, nourishing breaths here. Finding the strength in your arms. Drawing the belly in. Heavy heels. Grounding towards the ground. Breathing length to the sides of your back, to your hips. 1 more breath here. The next exhalation, bend the knees, gaze in front of you, and step or hop to the top of the mat. Inhaling to your flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, brush the floor. Inhale to your chair pose. And straighten all the way up. Hands to your heart. Let's do the chair pose once more. So bring your feet together. Big toes touching. Heels can be slightly apart. Bend your knees. Bring your balance back to your heels. Engage the inner thighs, draw the belly in, brush the floor, inhale, reach your arms up, and exhale, return the hands, the palms to your heart, revolve to your side, bring your elbow to your opposite knee, gazing up, pressing the hands firmly together. 2 more breaths, you got this. Find your smile, 1 more breath. The next inhalation, come back to the center, or even give yourself a break, straighten your legs just for a bit. And return back to your chair pose, hands to your heart, gaze forward, inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale to revolve to the other side. Elbow to your opposite knee. Pressing the palms firmly together, gazing to your side, up. Deep breaths. Sit lower. One more breath. Next inhalation, rise all the way up, arms over your head. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale to step your left foot behind you or right, whichever you can step to look to the screen. And turn to face your toes towards the back of the mat. Inhale to open your arms wide. And exhale to bend to your front knee. Warrior 2. Virabhadrasana 2. Pulling your feet towards each other. Drawing the belly in, shoulders back. 2 more breaths. Steady gaze. 1 more breath. Then next exhalation, reach forward with your front hand, reaching down towards the floor at the outside of your front knee, reaching your top arm over your head, coming to your extended side angle. Deep breaths. All the time, keeping your navel mildly drawing in, finding softness in your effort. 1 more breath here, you got this. The next inhalation, rise all the way up to the center, arms reaching to the sides, point the toes towards the top of the mat. Deep breath, find length, and exhale to bend to your front knee, gazing over the front fingertips. Finding straight away your Virabhadrasana 2 to the other side. Keeping your breath streaming freely through your nose. 1 more breath here. The next exhalation, begin to reach forward and to the side, outside of your front toes. Maybe just the fingertips touching or even flattening the full palm, but that's pretty intense, so no worries. Finding long line of energy from your back heel all the way to the top fingertips. Gazing up towards the ceiling or even to your palm without compromising your neck. Beautiful. 1 more deep breath here. The next inhalation, slowly rise all the way up. Bring your hands to your heart. Step to the top of the mat just for a bit. Take 1 breath here. The next inhalation, step your left foot back again. Turn the toes towards the back of the mat. And bring down your back knee to find your low lunge. Inhale to reach your arms up. Gazing up. 1 more breath here. Then exhale, hands to your heart. Elbow to the opposite front knee. And if you like, you can lift the back knee up, coming to your twisted side angle, extended side angle. Deep breaths, gazing up. 1 more breath here. The next inhalation, begin to look forward and come all the way up with the strength of your legs. Point your toes towards the top of the mat. The other side. Bring down your back knee. And next inhalation, reach your arms up. palms touching or apart, gazing up, low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Pull the front heel towards the back of the mat to really engage your hamstrings. One more breath here. Then exhale to bring your hands to your heart. Inhale to breathe length. And then bring the opposite elbow to the front knee, outside of it, to find your twisted lunge. Option to lift the back knee up. If you do, make sure to firmly lift it up, keeping your inner thighs active, gazing up to the ceiling. Deep breaths. One more breath here. Then next inhalation, begin to look forward. Rise all the way up, just with the strength of your legs. And step to the top of the mat. Tadasana, mountain pose. Next inhalation, step your left foot a bit smaller, step back. Rotate your feet backwards again. Align the feet heel to heel or slightly further apart. Inhale to open your arms at your sides. And exhale to begin to reach forward and rotate. Reach down on your shin, coming to your Trikonasana, triangle pose. Pressing the balls of both of your feet firmly to the mat to find stability. Perhaps finding your top arm, thumb with your eyes. One more breath here. The next inhalation, slowly rise all the way up. Turn the feet towards the front of the mat. So back toes are slightly pointing to the side. Inhale to breathe length. And exhale to begin to reach forward and down with your front arm and back arm reaching up. Finding your upper arm thumb. Reaching down with your lower arm to your shin or even ankle. Deep breaths. At the same time, drawing your belly in. One more breath here. And next inhalation, slowly rise all the way up. Hands to your heart and step to the top of the mat. Next inhalation, step to take a big step back again. Turn your toes towards the side of the mat. This time, toes can point forward or even slightly in. Inhale to reach your arms at your sides. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, lift your chest up, draw the belly in, elbows back. And exhale to fold forward and down. You can bring your hands down on the mat in the same line with your feet. Or just bring them to your shins. Deep breath, feel all four corners of your feet rooting to the mat. Engage the core. Engage the strength of your legs by lifting your kneecaps up. Deep breaths. Prasarita Padottanasana. Wide-legged forward fold. One more breath here. And next inhalation, rise halfway up. Gaze forward, bring your hands to your hips, elbows towards each other. And next inhalation, rise all the way up. Beautiful. Next inhalation, reach your arms to your sides again. And exhale, interlace the fingers behind your back. Inhale to roll the shoulders back, straightening the arms. And exhale to fold forward. Allowing those hands to drop over your head, freely keeping your arms straight. Again, all four corners of your feet rooting to the mat, bringing the balance even more to the balls of your feet. Keeping your attention at your breath, observing the uninterrupted flow of breath. One more breath here. And next inhalation, begin to lift your gaze up and come all the way up. Return your hands to your heart. Point your toes towards the top of the mat and step to the top of the mat. This can feel quite intense on the ankles. That's normal. Next inhalation, step again a small step back. Point your toes towards the back of the mat. Align your heels, hips distance apart. Then inhale to swing your arms behind your back. And either take a hold of opposite elbows or make a reverse prayer behind your back. So bringing your palms together, fingertips pointing up. Inhale to breathe length, draw the belly in, chest up. And exhale to begin to fold over your front leg with a straight back. Again, pressing the balls of your feet firmly to the mat. Deep breaths. Every inhalation, breathing length to your spine. And exhaling to fold deeper over your front leg. Keeping your belly engaged. One more breath here. The next inhalation, rise all the way up. And turn your feet towards the top of the mat. Again, aligning your heels a bit wider than heel to heel. Inhale to breathe length, chest up. And exhale to fold over that front leg, gazing forward, and then allowing your gaze to come down. All four corners of your feet rooting to the mat, keeping your pelvic floor lifted, navel drawing in and up, listening to the sound of your breath. One more breath here. Then next inhalation, slowly lift your gaze and rise all the way up. Hands to your heart. Step to the top of the mat. Beautiful. Then normally there would be a handstand, but we're not going to do that. So let's do the handstand version at the wall. So walking up the wall to our pike. So come and bring your feet to the wall and find your tabletop position. Hands below your shoulders. Firmly grip that floor with your fingertips. Press the index finger knuckles to the mat. Press the floor away. Draw your belly in. Inhale. And exhale to lift your hips up to find your downwards facing dog at the wall. Or then, if you want to go deeper, walk your feet up. Slowly bringing your hips over your hands. For 5 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, keep your neck straight and free from tension, and 5. Slowly walk your feet back down to the floor and take a small break, sitting on your heels, hands at your knees, relaxing your face, taking a few deep breaths to let yourself calm down a bit. Very nice. Let's do it once more. So bring your feet to the wall, hands below your shoulders. You can explore bringing them even closer if you like. Push the floor away, grip the floor with your hands, bring your hands, gaze between your hands, and lift your hips up. When you're ready, walk your feet on the wall, slowly, keeping the gaze between your hands, and press the floor away. Inner thighs engaged for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly come all the way down. Very nice. And you will get this recording, so you can always go back. Give your wrists a little roll to release. And when you're ready, find your way back to standing, to your usual spot again. We will do Uttita Hasta Padangusthasana. We've done it before. So it's a standing pose, balancing pose. Find your standing position, hands to your hips. Root your left foot to the floor. And inhale to lift your knee up. Taking a hold of it with the same side hand. Or again, if you want to go to the deeper variation, grip your toe with the index finger, middle finger and thumb, and straighten your leg. Find your steady gaze, inner thighs active. Lift your chest up, find your smile. 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. The next inhalation, open that foot to the side or the knee. And you can even challenge your balance by looking over your opposite side shoulder. 2 more breaths, you got this. Keeping that standing leg active. 1 more breath. The next inhalation, return that foot to the center. And release the foot, bring your hands to your hips. Keep your foot lifted and straighten the lifted foot, lifted leg. 2 more breaths, you got this. Lift the foot higher, point the toes, and slowly release the foot to the floor. Let's do that on the other side. Root the right foot to the floor. Draw the belly in, lift the left leg up. Take a hold of the knee or the toes. And find your steady gaze. 3 more breaths. Find your smile. 2 more breaths. 1, lift your chest up. And next inhalation, open the foot to the side. And if you like, challenge your balance by gazing over your opposite shoulder. 2 more breaths. Challenging pose. Definitely challenging enough with just the knee at your hand. 1 more breath. The next inhalation, Bring that foot to the middle again. And slowly release. Straighten the foot. Point the toes. Lift the foot up as high as you can. For 3, 2, lift your chest up. Keep your back straight. 1. And lift higher and slowly release. Very nice. Then slowly find your way back to the top of the mat. Bring your hands to your heart. Take one deep breath here. Inhale to reach your arms over your head. Reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into your flat back. Exhale, hands to the mat, step to your high plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upwards facing dog. Exhale, downwards facing dog. Grip those fingertips to the mat. Engage your shoulders. Find length in your back. Neutralizing pose. One more breath here. The next exhalation, bend the knees, gaze in front of you. And step to the top of the mat, but this time sit down on your butt. Straighten your legs in front of you. Root your sitting bones firmly to the mat. And bring your hands to the sides of your hips. And inhale to really press the floor away, opening your shoulders. Bringing your chin towards your chest. Crown of your head lifting towards the sky. Belly drawing in. Feet are flexed, toes pointing up. 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. And with your next exhalation, begin to walk your hands forward. Finding your Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Keeping those feet firmly flexed. Taking a hold at your ankles or shins. Belly, your navel drawing towards your thighs. Deep breaths. 1 more breath here. Inhale to breathe length. And exhale to pull yourself deeper forward. Next inhalation. Rise all the way up with your straight back. Hands behind your back. Fingertips pointing to your heels. Point your toes. And next inhalation, lift your hips up. Coming to your reversed plank. Gazing up towards the ceiling. Your toes reaching to the ground. Maybe even allowing your head to drop your gaze behind you. 3, 2, and 1. Lower down your hips to the floor. And lift your right knee up. Bring your right heel as close to your hips as you can. Inhale to reach your right arm up. Lift your chest up. And exhale to reach forward. Flip the palm to the side. And hug your knee. Finding your right hip. Or even reaching behind you with your left arm to interlace your hands behind your back. Gazing forward or down. Belly drawing in. Deep breaths. 3, 2. Every exhalation, drawing the belly in. And 1. Next inhalation, lift your gaze up and unwind your arms. Reach your right arm behind you on fingertips. Inhale to reach your left arm up. And exhale to hug the knee and begin to look over your back shoulder to make this twist. Hugging the bended knee in. Every exhalation, twisting deeper. Belly drawing in. One more breath. The next inhalation, unravel the pose, gaze forward, hands to your sides and switch sides. Bring your left heel as close to your hips as you can. Inhale to reach your left arm up, chest up, draw the belly in, and exhale to first fold forward, flip the palm, and hug your knee, finding your hips or even interlacing your fingers behind your back. Every inhalation, breathing length to your spine, and exhaling to fold your chest deeper towards your leg. Opening your hips and your legs, the back of your leg, straightened leg at the same time as you're actually working on your core. One more breath here. The next inhalation, lift your gaze and come all the way up. Reach your left fingertips behind your back. Inhale to reach your right arm up, gaze up. And exhale to rotate to the side, hug your knee. And begin to gaze over your left shoulder as you're hugging your left knee in with your arm. Deep breaths. Stay with your ujjayi breathing. Uninterrupted flow of inhalations and exhalations. Every exhalation bringing you deeper to the twist. One more breath. The next inhalation, slowly begin to gaze forward again, unravel the pose. Bend your knees and lay down on your back. Bring your palms at the sides of your hips, pressing down. And lift your knees up and shins parallel with the floor again. Take a deep breath here. And as you exhale, draw the belly in again. Lower ribs in. Your lower back is coming closer to the floor. Then reach your feet slightly further to really engage. Stay here for 2 more breaths to find your core. The next inhalation, reach your feet up, flex the feet so feet are parallel with the floor. Keep your hands pressing, the palms pressing down on the floor. Draw the belly in, take a deep breath here, and then begin to make small steps with your feet. So, like you're walking, like baby steps. Think about baby steps. Then begin to bring your feet down, lower down, and up. And you decide how low you bring your feet. You can bring them as close as you can towards the floor, which is really intense, or keep them a bit higher. Keep drawing your belly in, breathing. One more breath. You got this. Then slowly release. Bring your foot soles together. Open your knees to the sides. You can bring your hands to your belly for a moment. Allow your belly to soften for a bit. That was baby steps. Then we will do the big steps. So lift your feet up again. Feet together. Flex the feet. Palms at your sides. Even walk your shoulders a bit closer to each other on the floor. Take a deep breath here. Then exhale to engage your core. Draw the belly in, lower ribs in. And we'll begin to make bigger steps. Keep your feet firmly flexed. Bring your feet lower. Then higher. Brisk walking. Lower. Then higher. Keep breathing. Lower. As low as you can. You got this. Higher. And release. Very nice. And take your resting position again. When you're watching this afterwards, you can pause the video and do this as long as you like. Okay. Then lift your knees up again and bring your palms down on the floor again. And find your heels with your fingertips. So we're gonna do first bridge, and then those who want can do the full wheel. So Urdhva Dhanurasana. So find your heels and find the distance that works for you. Maybe experiment by lifting your hips just a bit. Feel that you can really engage or press on all four corners of your feet to lift your hips up. Okay, so lower the hips down again. Take a deep breath here. Draw the belly in again, lower ribs in. Next inhalation, lift your hips up. And walk your shoulders towards each other. If you like, interlace the fingers to lift the chest even higher, keeping your neck long, your chest rising towards your chin. For 4, 2, 2, 1, lift higher and lower down. Hug your knees to your chest. Give yourself a firm hug at the same time as you're releasing your lower back. And then we'll do that again. Return the feet to the floor. Knees are lifted. Pay attention to keep the knees over your feet and not letting them splay apart or come too much in either. Find your start position. Take a deep breath, draw the belly in. Next inhalation, lift your hips up again. And find your interlaced fingers, walking the shoulders towards each other, and begin to lift your chest up towards your chin. Pressing 4 corners of your feet firmly to the mat. 2 more breaths. Deep breaths. 1 more breath. And slowly lower the hips down. And hug your knees in again. Bring your knees towards your chest. Give yourself a firm hug. Rocking from side to side. And then you can do just what we did now. Or if you like, you can try the full wheel But if you feel any pain in your lower back, you might want to back off and return to the bridge. So those of you who want to do the full wheel, find the length of your feet from your hips again. Bring your hands at your ears, so at your head. Turn the fingertips slightly out to really bring the elbows together. Then we'll begin with just what we did earlier. Draw your belly in, lower ribs in. Inhale to lift your hips up, bringing your balance to your shoulders. Next inhalation, lift your head up, press your head to the floor. And next inhalation, straighten your arms. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly reverse, lower down to bring your shoulders to the floor. And then gently return your hips to the floor. And give yourself that firm hug again. One more deep breath here. Then let your knees drop to the side. And with the help of your hands, rise all the way up to seated. Open your feet wide. Flex the feet up. Then inhale to breathe length to your spine, chest up. And exhale to begin to walk your arms forward, finding your four-legged forward fold. Keeping your feet flexed. Engaging the strength of your legs and your core, finding length with each inhalation, and exhaling to fold deeper into the pose. You can keep your hands at your sides or even bring them to the sides, to your feet, reaching to your ankles or taking a hold of the outsides of your feet. Deep breaths. One more breath here. Deepest breath yet. And exhaling to fold even deeper. Next inhalation, gaze up and rise all the way up. Take a hold of the outsides of your feet and lift your feet up. Draw the belly in, straighten your back, chest up, gaze up. And see if you can try to straighten one foot at a time or even both legs. Pressing your feet to your hands. Keeping your steady gaze. Finding your smile wherever you are. It's beautiful just as it is. One more breath here. Then let yourself roll on your back. And keep your hands at the outsides of your feet. Arms coming on the insides of your knees, on the inner side of your knees to find your happy baby position, allowing the weight of your arms to pull your feet down towards the ground, rocking from side to side, finding a beautiful release to your lower back, to your hips. beginning to find a more soothing quality to your breathing. And then slowly release. And make sure that you have space behind you. Bring your hands to the ground next to your hips again. Lift your knees up. And we're gonna do a shoulder stand. So lift your hips up. Take a hold in the lower back with your hands and walk your hands higher in your back. Keeping your elbows towards each other. Pressing the shoulders firmly to the mat. Straightening your legs towards the ceiling. Keeping your core engaged mildly. Gazing up to your toes. Or if you don't want to do this, it feels uncomfortable, feel free to do the feet on the wall, feet up the wall. Variation, finding the piece of wall again, swinging your feet up to really relax. Three more breaths in your shoulder stand. One more breath. Then you can begin to reach your feet behind you, slowly, in control, straight legs sinking behind you, maybe allowing the tops of your feet or your toes to touch the floor, then interlacing your fingers, straightening the arms behind you. Now gazing to your navel. Halasana. It can feel really intense, but breathe through the challenge. Allow yourself to soften with each exhalation. Then release your knees down. Make space with your hands, and vertebrae by vertebrae, return your hips down on the floor. And when your hips are down, straighten one of the legs, allowing the knee to stay up. And let's do the final relaxing pose, reclining twist. Take a hold of that knee with the opposite arm, opposite hand. Allow that knee to drop to the opposite side. And then bended knee side, arm reaching to the side. Gaze to that hand. And breathe length to your side body. Allowing your belly to soften and your face to soften. One more breath here. The next inhalation, bring the knee back to the center and switch sides. The other knee up, straightening the other leg, and find your way to your reclining twist. Allowing the knee to ground towards the floor as the opposite shoulder is rooting down. Noticing any areas with tension, and consciously allowing yourself to relax. Noticing the quality of your breath, the uninterrupted stream of breath. Next inhalation, bring the knee to the center. Lift your knees up, take a hold behind your knees, and swing back to seated just for a bit. Find something warm to lay comfortably for a couple of minutes. Take your blanket or a warm shirt, and when you're ready, lay down, allowing your feet to be wide apart, your arms at your sides, palms facing up. Let your head drop from side to side a couple of times. And then gently bring it to the center. And take a moment to go through your body. Scan through your body to consciously relax, to notice that your feet are relaxed, your legs, your belly, your back, allow your hands to relax, your arms and shoulders, your upper back, chest, your face and eyebrows, completely relaxed. Then bring your attention again to your breathing. Noticing how your belly is freely rising and lowering with your breath. Without any effort, allow your breath to stream freely, just observing the slight movement of your belly. Noticing how the exhalations become inhalations without any interruption, and the inhalations become exhalations. The uninterrupted flow of breath. Enjoy a few more moments of your attention as the silent witness or observer of your breath, of your body, resting and breathing and being supported by the ground. Then slowly begin to lengthen your breaths, moving your fingers and your toes. Reach your arms over your head and stretch your body fully. Then bring your knees to your chest and turn to one of your sides to your fetus positions. Then with the help of your hands, rise all the way up to seated, to your easy pose, cross-legged seated position. Bringing your hands to your knees, finding your straight back, your smile. Then bow to your heart, bring your hands to your heart. Namaste.